The morning sun glares over the Red Sea as a U.S. Air Force F-16 from the 421st Fighter Squadron cuts through the thin air at 30,000 feet. The jet prowls in wide arcs, providing top cover for a naval task force steaming cautiously near Yemen's contested coastline. Below, hidden among the rocky hills of Hodeidah, a Houthi missile crew works feverishly at their SA-6 system. The aging but deadly surface-to-air battery hums to life, its radar sweeping the skies until it locks onto the American fighter. Without warning, two missiles scream off their rails, their solid fuel boosters propelling them to nearly 3 times the speed of sound. The projectiles streak upward, leaving twisting trails of smoke and fire in their wake. Inside the F-16's cockpit, the threat warning system blares to life. The pilot reacts instantly, dumping flares that burst like burning stars across the sky while throwing the jet into a gut-wrenching dive. The F-16 plunges from 30,000 to 15,000 feet in seconds, the G-forces pressing the pilot into his seat as the missiles close in. For one terrifying moment, the outcome hangs in the balance. Then, the missiles streak past harmlessly, detonating in the distance. The crisis appears over, but the real consequences are just beginning. At exactly 9:47 a.m. local time, the Houthis had crossed a dangerous line by firing on a U.S. fighter jet, and their failure would trigger a chain reaction that would reshape the conflict in the Red Sea. Within hours, the U.S. Central Command confirms the incident. A U.S. fighter jet and MQ-9 Reaper drone were engaged by surface-to-air missiles launched from Houthi positions in Yemen. Both aircraft evaded the attack and returned safely to base. The statement is clinical, but its implications are explosive. This wasn't another potshot at a commercial tanker or slow-moving drone. The Houthis had deliberately targeted one of America's most advanced warplanes. And in missing, they'd handed Washington exactly what it needed to escalate. The response unfolds with terrifying efficiency. U.S. satellites and the MQ-9's high-definition cameras had captured everything. The missile launch flashes, their trajectories, the exact coordinates of the Houthi firing positions in Yemen's mountainous Sada province. Aboard the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, the operational tempo shifts instantly. FA-18 Super Hornets scramble from the carrier's deck as target packages are assembled with chilling precision. By 4:20 p.m. local time, the retaliation arrives. Tomahawk cruise missiles roar from U.S. Navy destroyers in the Red Sea, while Air Force jets strike Houthi radar installations and missile sites. The strikes are surgical, devastating, and most importantly, very public. This isn't a covert operation or a limited response. It's a message written in fire across the Yemeni landscape. Attack American jets, and the consequences will be immediate and overwhelming. In the days that follow, the Houthis go unusually quiet. No more missile launches at ships or aircraft. Intercepted communications reveal confusion and debate among their leadership. Meanwhile, the USS Eisenhower moves closer to Yemen's coast, its escorting destroyers forming overlapping rings of missile defense. The rules of engagement have changed overnight. What makes this escalation different isn't just the weapons used or targets struck, but the strategic shift it represents. For months, the Houthis had operated with relative impunity, harassing shipping lanes and testing boundaries. By attacking an F-16, they gambled they could pressure Washington without triggering a major response. Their miscalculation was profound. The failed strike exposed their missile stockpiles, revealed their radar capabilities, and most crucially, gave the U.S. military undeniable justification to strike back hard. The international reaction proves equally telling. America's allies, including Britain, France, and Germany, immediately voiced support. Even typically cautious organizations like the United Nations concede the U.S. had every right to respond. The Houthis find themselves isolated, their usual claims of self-defense ringing hollow after targeting a U.S. warplane in international airspace. As satellite imagery shows Houthi forces scrambling to relocate their remaining missile systems, a new reality sets in across the region. The Red Sea is no longer just another Middle Eastern flashpoint, it's become a proving ground for a more assertive U.S. military posture. The message to Iran and other Houthi backers is unmistakable. America will no longer tolerate gradual escalation. One missed missile attack has rewritten the rules of engagement in a conflict that shows no signs of ending. In the weeks that follow the U.S. retaliation, intelligence reports paint a clearer picture of the aftermath. Houthi command infrastructure has been severely disrupted. Several mid-level commanders are confirmed killed, while others vanish from intercepted chatter. American and allied ISR, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance assets operate with near-constant presence above Yemen, ensuring no rebuilding effort goes unnoticed. The skies are no longer uncontested. Meanwhile, in Washington, the National Security Council holds a series of urgent meetings. The president, briefed daily, authorizes a broader mandate for U.S. forces operating in the region. The new directive isn't just about deterrence, it's about dismantling capabilities before they're used. Pentagon officials label it proactive containment. Naval strike groups are retasked, and additional assets, including stealth bombers and electronic warfare aircraft, quietly redeploy to key air bases across the Middle East. For the Houthis, the pressure becomes unbearable. Supply lines grow thin as coalition forces begin interdicting suspected arms shipments from Iran. Drones and patrol aircraft circle the Gulf of Aden and Bab el-Mandeb Strait, capturing infrared footage of smugglers' dhows and clandestine convoys moving under cover of night. Some are seized, others are destroyed at sea with little fanfare and no formal announcements. Inside Yemen, the population in Houthi-controlled areas begins to feel the squeeze. Fuel shortages intensify, and power grids, already fragile, flicker and fail under the strain. Humanitarian agencies warn of a looming crisis, but access is limited, and aid convoys are increasingly viewed as security risks. The conflict, once hidden in remote valleys and outposts, is now casting long shadows over urban centers. By mid-month, a second American drone is fired upon, not by the Houthis this time, but by an unknown group operating farther east near the Oman border. The missile misses, but the implications are clear. The Red Sea flashpoint is threatening to spiral. U.S. intelligence agencies scramble to determine whether this is a rogue faction, a proxy force, or a deliberate widening of the conflict orchestrated by Tehran. Back on the USS Eisenhower, the flight deck never sleeps. Day and night, sorties launch with mechanical precision. Pilots speak in hushed tones about the shift they've witnessed. What began as an isolated engagement now feels like the opening chapter of something larger. They don't call it a war yet, but no one says peace either. And across the region, one unspoken truth settles in. The skies over the Red Sea have changed, perhaps for good. If you found this breakdown insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update from Next Gen Tech, your frontline pass to the future of modern warfare.